right, guys. Well. What do we have here? The answer is Cell Max. So Cell Max is coming to Global Dokkan, a week before a Dual Dokkan Fest. So, listen. It's better that they do this than they don't do this. But, I must confess, I don't know if doing 4 summonable LRs in July and then 4 summonable LRs in August plus a Dokkan Fest TUR in Topo in August is the best idea. We'll see what Cell Max is going to look like. I was really thinking that they could introduce Cell Max on a banner, potentially with Jiren or some other character. The reason, of course, is because Global right now is 1 pity coin ahead of JP. I guess they're just going to leave it to where Global is just permanently 1 pity coin ahead. Because Global had an extra pity coin LR. It was the Int Spirit Bomb Goku, right? Global had pity for him. So, yeah, I guess. We'll find out the full details of this guy's arrival on Global when the data download hits. But, this guy's probably coming out, tomorrow, I would have to imagine, right? Like, he's going to be very soon. Again, both Global and JP are getting data downloads tonight. And we'll find out the full scope of everything. The Global data download, I think, was potentially, I guess for 2 different reasons. Global is going to get the same update JP is going to get next week, which might involve potentially new mechanics for, like, the Dual Dokkan Fest next week, including, like, Broly and stuff like that. Very possible. And then for Global, we were excited for the data download because it would show us potentially if Global is going to get another LR. There was 3 missing characters: Cell Max, Roshi, and Jiren. So we get Cell Max is showing up here rather than Jiren. I did kind of point this out earlier today, though, how they did not announce the new stages for the Supreme Magnificent Battle. The last 2 stages in there against UI Goku and then Goku and Frieza. I guess they're gonna, when we see that is coming, that is the sign, I guess, that Jiren is going to be coming to Global. And then we still don't know what they're going to do with Roshi, but, this last gasp right before Worldwide to catch up a lot of characters is really good. So Global's just behind Jiren and Roshi now. That's good. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. So, we might as well talk about Cell Max. I'll just tell you guys flatly, I think Cell Max is, basically very underrated. By a lot of the community. I think Cell Max is an absolute monster. Now, the only reason I think he's underrated is just because he hasn't been on Global yet. This is what I think about this guy. His power is ridiculous. Now, a lot of times, I've seen all throughout the year, people will be like, oh yeah, Beast Gohan is so good. He does have a Team Protector mechanic, but his Team Protector mechanic isn't even that crazy. There's better characters that have, better target mechanics, referring to Gogeta, right? But the thing about Gogetas is it like the earliest with perfect RNG you can get it is turn 6. And, there's locking fights all over the place. You have to float him off. Like, it takes a long-ass time before you get Gogeta's active skill up. Whereas Beast, he gets hit once, and you've got it for the entire fight, right? Until you need to use that. Cell Max is pretty similar, in that his, right? So, let's see. Okay. I guess, so it's all allies are artificial life form or super bosses. I guess in order to use it on turn 4, it does specifically have to be one of those 2. Or turn 6 if all allies are extreme class. Yeah, I guess that is unfortunate, huh? Because this guy showing up where he'll be really potentially good, probably, is going to be on movie bosses. I would imagine that, DBZ Broly, who will come next week, very likely could have a movie boss's leader skill. And Cell Max could be very good there. Now, Cell Max, he really is just kind of like baby Beast Gohan. Like, this guy's inclusion in the game is why I do agree with people that Beast Gohan does not gap the game anymore. And especially with Tech UI Goku's transform state existing as well, right? With that and with Cell Max, I mean, I certainly would agree that he's not gapping the game, since those are the two characters that can kind of, perform at the same level as Beast are here. Now, Cell Max, unfortunately, is a yellow coin LR, which means his leader skill, as you guys could see, is far worse than you typically see from these really major Supreme LRs. This guy is so much better than any other like Super Bosses or Movie Bosses character or anything like that, that even though you're running the team under potentially 50% less stats, I've found that the best iteration of Super Bosses, the build that leads to winning the most, is bringing a second Cell Max. Cell Max is way better than Dragon Ball Super Broly. Way better. Because Cell Max is super powerful pretty much instantly. Now, he does have some build-up. One thing about him is he doesn't have any defense in his super attack effects. So once he's fully built up, that defensive stat you see, which typically is hovering around 1 million, is basically what he's at. Like 1 million with 30% damage reduction, I believe, is what he finishes at. So he does have an intro, so his first 2 rotations he'll be guarding. The first 2 rotations he gets an extra 100% stats, guard, and then an additional has a 50% chance to be a super. And you need another character that's either Artificial Lifeform or Super Bosses on the team. Now, if we let's just think about him in terms of potentially being used on DBZ Broly's team, assuming he's a movie boss. Just walk with me for a little bit. You are gonna need Dragon Ball Super Broly as well. Because it's just, as long as you just have Dragon Ball Super Broly or a Janemba. Those are the only 2, right, that come to mind. Janemba is Artificial Life. Wait, is Janemba? He is, right? No, he's not. I'm mistaken about that. No. So, Metal Cooler. I mean, Metal Cooler. Metal Cooler is Artificial Life Form, but I mean, he's aged out. Oh, Broly, Chi, and Lemo are Super Bosses. Yeah. Okay. So Broly, Chi, and Lemo, so that's not a bad thing at all then. Because, I mean, you would probably want to run them. The only thing is you're going to need orbs. I guess maybe hopefully DBZ Broly creates orbs. Yeah, I'm looking for Artificial Lifeform or Super Bosses. Frieza's on Super Bosses as well. But, like, Frieza's not a character we'd want to run on movie bosses because he's specifically for Super Bosses characters. So, okay, I guess you could use Broly, Chi, and Lemo, and that would get Cell Maxes. I forgot about them. Yeah, that's nice. So he's got that. He gets the huge stats start a turn. He builds up while attacking. You can see Cell Max do, like, craziness. We're talking, like, 40 into a 30 into a 30 into a 30 on the turn that he does his actives. Like, it just gets ridiculous, along with being untouchable. Like this, he really is that guy. And unlike a lot, people will go, oh, you kill the boss before the boss kills you, and they think they're so freaking clever, man. But it doesn't actually work that way. Well, Cell Max actually can, because it's like you pair up his ridiculous damage and his additionals and shit like that, and you pair that with his active, and he actually can do that shit that people pretend other characters like DBS Broly can do. Because he has the target mechanic, and then he is invincible. Beast Gohan can be killed by Goku and Frieza in a lot of scenarios. Cell Max cannot. They cannot hurt Cell Max. Period. So, that is really big there. If there's a bit of a negative, though, he does have to get hit to build up this defense. He is guarding with damage reduction, but he could still get penetrated and take some damage if he gets supered right away. Do not doubt that. He can get hit a little hard at the start before he builds this up. He has another additional. Now, this is where I think a lot of people they really act like these restrictions really kill this character. They don't, but you do have to adhere to them. So he gets 250% defense and 30% damage reduction. The entire rotation has to be the same. You cannot mix or match. You can't. it's got to be the exact same rotation. So 2 artificial life form characters and 1 movie boss character does not work. It needs to be a full rotation of any of the 3. So you're going to bust out Cell Max if you're running a specific category team. Again, artificial life form, super bosses, or movie bosses. And, with that damage reduction up, I mean, he's carrying a lot of defense. I mean, you could get him up to 1,000,000 defense with guard, with damage reduction very quickly, where he's very tanky. And then this is here, too. I mean, this is mostly, I guess, just so you can't run him with the LR Gammas, I guess. Right, but he does have built-in crit, huge damage, as long as you don't have a superhero ally in the rotation. And then he gets this. By the way, you can give Cell Max dodge for this. I know some people would say, well, why would I give him dodge when he can't be hurt? Because a lot of bosses do, seal and stun and stuff like that. But he gets a guaranteed additional super after he receives a super. If he dodges, this still triggers, right? So that's really good. I've actually had it happen against Supreme Magnificent Battle Beast Gohan. He supered my Cell Max. I dodged it, so I didn't get stunned. And then I just unloaded on Beast with a bunch of super attacks, right? So, that's a good way to explain it. And then remember, his active skill, not only is it just kind of like just a stronger version of what Beast Gohan does, but it's also an attack as well. So, he's just very good. This is exactly how I feel right now. I should preface always that you could have AGL UI in Evolution Blue Vegeta, Tech UI Goku. I think any combo of these 3 in any order makes sense to me. I think there's arguments for. But that's it. These 3 can be switched around. I think Jiren is below them though. I think this tier is here and I think this tier is above. But these 3 I think you can mix and match however you think the 3 are the best, because they're very close, these 3. But yeah, that's it. Cell Max, in my opinion, second best unit in the game, coming right now. And then Dragon Ball Z Broly Dual Dokkan Fest coming next week. Well, it could be a Dokkan Fest plus a Carnival, but you guys get what I mean.